Your voice, your opinion, your community. Fact TV, free speech, protected.
Would you ever perform an exorcism?
No.
Would you ever want to be there while one's being performed?
Hell no.
What about if a bunch of people acted out one and they recorded it?
Watch a movie of it?
Yeah.
Now we're talking.
All this and more on Gory Story Time.
Warning. Gory Story Time is a horror movie review show by a son and his dad who thought that letting his 5-year-old watch scary movies was acceptable. If you are offended by horror or talk about blood and gore by a child, or if you don't want horror movies from the 60s through today spoiled, then there is a remote stuck in your couch cushion next to potato chip crumbs. Use it. And of course, parental discretion is advised.
Why? You didn't use any.
Shut up and start the show.
Welcome to Gory Story Time. I'm your host, Jason.
I'm his co-host and his father, Craig, and I have to say, we corrected the number, so now we're at 298. We have one more regular episode before our big 300 spectacular, which means if we're not quite done with the editing and everything on it, we'll have to take a week or two off.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can get it in at the normal time.
Hopefully.
It depends. We've got some people coming in to do a couple things still.
Yes.
But
stay tuned.
yeah, it's going to be star-studded.
Absolutely, it will be.
Anyway, this movie is The Last Exorcism.
Yes.
As you could tell by the thumbnail, the title, the poster, and the fact that you clicked on it already, so you knew that.
Probably the title of the video as well.
I said title.
Okay.
Whatever. The point is, this is a found footage movie.
Yes.
There's a man who performs exorcisms, and there's a documentary crew following him, and he's taken them down to his last exorcism that he plans on performing because he's seen that people get hurt, like someone actually lost their life in an exorcism, and he decided he's not going to do it anymore. I'm not going to give away too many details because I know it happens kind of early.
It's like,
but it's not even in the
first
trailer.
thing you know.
I mean, it's not. It's probably 5 minutes of not that first, but still. Well, okay, fine. Because it's not in the trailer, so I didn't want to.
Right.
But basically, he doesn't actually believe in demons. He's not sure he believes in God, and he definitely doesn't believe in exorcisms. He was faking this whole time.
He used to, and then realized he rushed into it.
Where he's going to give some examples of how he fakes
it.
things. Yeah. And then things turn out unexpectedly real for him.
Yes.
That doesn't really spoil much.
Comeuppance.
Sure. Anything else you want to say about it? That's basically it, right?
Watch it. Go watch this.
He says that about every movie.
Yeah.
It could literally be a movie about a turd, and it's actually called Piece of, and then just has like the poop emoji, and he'd be like, watch it.
Well, that was called the Emoji Movie, and don't.
Well, talk about scary. Anyway, why don't we throw it to the trailer so you can see what intrigued us.
Exorcism is alive and well. The Bible is filled with demons. If you believe in God, you have to believe in the devil.
We're looking for the Sweetser farm.
You want to make a U-turn, and then I want you to go back where you came from.
Jeez, go!
Seems like the end of the road. Mr. Sweetser, how you doing? Cotton Marcus.
My wife died 2 years ago. It was quite a shock for Nell.
Were you very close?
She was my best friend.
Somehow, the devil got in her.
Now, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Good. Nothing to be nervous about.
What is it? It's coming through my skin. Please help. Get it out of my...
Let him come now. Where's Nell?
In the fire. Here, kitty, kitty.
Nell. Oh my God. Turn off that light. Let's get out of here.
If you can't save my daughter's soul, I will.
Tell to leave this girl. If I beseech our Lord, you may be eaten and down wild for the devil. In the name of Jesus Christ, I command thee to be gone!
Dun, dun, dun.
Yes.
Anyway. All right. I mean, it's a decent trailer. It doesn't really give away that he's
a non-believer, that he's kind of a skeptic now.
Not a skeptic. He's like trying to disprove, if anything.
You know, that's what skeptics do.
Sure, I guess. Anywho, anything we should still say before we get into the behind the scenes and the commercials and all the...
No. There's nothing there, right?
No.
Yeah, no.
All right. Well, then what I'm going to do is explain why we've been doing this for 298 episodes. More if you count the 4 that we didn't number that you did with your mom.
Was it only 4? Thought it was 5.
Was it 5? Yeah. No, I think you did the last one as 1 review.
Oh.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
He did all of the Twilight movies, and I protested each episode. Anyway, what we really do this for is the fat stacks of cash that we get for advertising for actual, known companies that
Huge,
exist.
awesome, big.
And want us to promote their items because we have such a large following. This week, Gory Story Time is brought to you by the next generation of found footage movies, Real Footage. REELREAL footage. Everybody knows that found footage movies are losing popularity. Why is that? It's overdone. It's all similar. We recognize some of the actors because they stopped using unknowns, which is kind of important for those. Not to mention, we know it's all fake. Not with real footage. We use only actual footage people recorded of their own crimes. Now, that should up the tension. Knowing that anything you see actually happened, you know? You might wonder who would film these awful crimes. Well, a quick Google search shows thousands of morons.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true. Real footage coming soon from GST Films. And also...
And by Scared Abstinent. The weekend...
Scared what?
Abstinent.
Abstinence.
Okay.
Or Scared Abstinent. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you said it right. Never mind.
I know, it's not.
Scared Abstinent. Yes, that's correct. Never mind. Just keep reading.
And by Scared Abstinent. The weekend retreat that will keep your children from me.
Well.
Well.
That's a different thing.
Whoa. All right. The weekend retreat that will keep your children away from premarital sex. Send your young teens to our campus, where they will be shown hours upon hours of information on STDs, and even better, at night they will watch movies that show the evils of pregnancy with our Demon Baby movie marathon. Films include Rosemary's Baby, It's Alive, The Omen, and more. Scared Abstinent, because it's easier to scar your kids for life than actually talk to them about important issues.
This is true.
To keep your children away from me. Wow.
What would the second word be? It was supposed to be premarital, and you said me, so me prarital? The prarital is not a thing. That's how you realized you messed up.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't swap the beginning and make another real word.
Nope, it wasn't real.
All right, now it's time to get into the meat and beef of the show, as Jason likes to call it.
Or as I like to call it, the meat and beef of the show.
Yeah. In case you haven't heard a million times, it's because...
Potatoes are bad for you.
He meant to say meat and potatoes, and he screwed up, and now we're low carb, so we just kept it.
I'll go first.
Go ahead.
Ashley Bell spent over a month researching her role, including the study of several manias.
The scene in which Nell is given a pair of Doc Marten boots stemmed from the fact the insurance company wouldn't cover Ashley Bell for the exorcism scenes if she was running around barefoot.
Ashley Bell did all the bends and contortions of her body on her own. No special effects were used because she has hypermobility and exaggerated increased mobility or loose joints more flexible than ordinary. A very common problem with effects more than 15%. Which affects more than 15% of the world's population. So it says more than ordinary, so different than ordinary, not regular?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure that the word irregular that I used earlier was correct.
You're irregular.
Just pointing that out.
No, actually, you know when you're regular? If I ask him to do anything around the house, because he regularly has to go to the bathroom whenever he's asked to do anything. Apparently, it triggers something. Anywho, the film's poster was banned in the United Kingdom after receiving complaints deeming the image was offensive.
Okay.
Wussies.
A crew member's brother was a real exorcist and was on set advising director Daniel Stamm. He makes an unbilled cameo in the film and can be seen to the left of Reverend Cotton Marcus when he delivers his sermon about the Prince of Lies.
It was shot in Louisiana, partially because of a generous tax credit. And when they say partially, let's not pretend they don't mean mainly.
Hugely.
Like, that happens a lot.
I get it. Earned over 10 times its budget, $1.8 million, and recouped all its marketing costs, $20 million, during its opening weekend.
Opening weekend, it was making profit.
That's huge for a horror movie.
Well, there's a reason for it, and that comes later. But where were we? Note how much of the footage at the start of the film is static, tripods being used for early scenes. As the film progresses and the documentary crew starts to get more fearful, it becomes much looser and unhinged.
Yeah. The film made a profit before shooting even began. Producers Eli Roth, Studio Canal, and Strike Entertainment sold off a few key territories to finance the film based on the script and the producers' names and Roth's commitments to do publicity, raising $2 million and making the film for $1.8. Wow.
Yeah. So they not only made back the marketing in the first weekend, they were already
spend it all.
Before they spent any money on marketing, they're already making a profit because they sold off certain territories for where it could be released.
Well, and didn't
to other companies
use all the money they got.
Right. So it was just money. It's kind of like going to the sperm bank and giving them a deposit. You know, you're making money hand over fist.
You.
Where? Oh, all right. Contrary to popular belief, every single person on screen in this film is an actual actor. Some people thought that they got some local town people or whatever. They didn't. The local town people they talked to were actors.
That makes sense. Spent 3 years in development.
The script took 3 years to complete. That sounds like a similar
It does.
thing, but
As a novel marketing device,
there we go.
The filmmakers used
Chat roulette
to publicize their movie.
Which is weird because I won't go on there because I know I'm not going to see movie advertisements. At least not movies I watch. Many of the characters have the same given name as the actor portraying him or her. 8 of the 17 cast members
played their name.
Yeah, played someone with their name, their first name.
Partly inspired by Marjo, the 1972 documentary about fundamentalist huckster Marjo Gortner. I'm sure that that's not how to say those things.
No, basically it is, yeah. He was someone that faked some demon removals. Patrick Fabian based his performance on Jimmy Swaggart and Burt Lancaster in the movie Elmer Gantry.
Originally entitled Cotton, after Reverend Cotton Mather.
It shipped to theaters under a code name called Scrutiny.
Writers Huck Botko and Andrew Gerland were slated to direct the film, but due to unknown reasons, the duo bowed out and director Daniel Stamm took over.
Patrick Fabian and Caleb Landry Jones both have the same birthday of December 7th. All right. So there's 20 pieces of information about the movie that maybe you did not know.
Yes, and Rotten Tomatoes exists.
It does. And what it's supposed to do is take all the critics' reviews and just boil it down to positive and negative, and then it tells you the percentage of the positive reviews. It doesn't always work that way, but that's the intent.
Yes.
And then they also have a spot on the site for regular people to say positive or negative also.
Yeah.
What did these critics have this movie at? How many thought it was a good movie?
71%.
71%. Decent score. Now, usually with these kind of movies, as we like to say, horror movies tend to get a higher score with the people. In this case, that's not true. The people had it at 35, a little under half.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It is. It really is.
That's crazy. A little under half of that. I happen to think it was way better than that. But, you know, I'm not one of the people they ask, and I'm definitely not one of the critics they ask.
No.
What would you... We're going to just get into it, right?
Yeah.
Since I know you really like this movie, what was your least favorite part of this movie?
Probably because it was so short, actually. Because by the time I was done watching it, it felt like there should have been more. I feel like it was like only 90 minutes. Mm-hmm. And sure, that's not like a short movie. But when I'm used to, you know, superhero blockbuster after superhero blockbuster, it's like, give me at least 2.5 before a movie's over.
Yeah, but a lot of movies like this wouldn't hold your attention this long because of the type it is. To be fair,
it felt like right at the end, things were
rushed it.
Picking up, and it's like, now it's for the third act, and then it was over instead.
Well, I will say, my least favorite part, it's not exactly that, your complaint. It felt like there was more things that I must have missed. I watched it. He had watched it with his wife. They both said how great it was, so I went to watch his DVD out in the other room, and I have to be honest, when the ending happened, I was like, okay, that was cool, but I was missing something. So I went back and I watched it a second time, and it turns out I hadn't missed a damn thing. They just...
See, what you're really missing here is a third time.
No.
I could point out the things that you missed.
Not really.
I'm sure I could.
No, because there was nothing the second time that I didn't say, oh, this again.
Yeah.
So I was quite... I know you said that they try to answer some questions, but not enough in the second one.
No.
But we'll do that when we review the second one eventually. Yeah, it just felt like I must have missed stuff, and it turns out, no, it just was never put in there.
Yeah.
But it really felt like I must have.
Yeah.
What was your favorite part?
The special effects, probably, just overall. I mean, when they did use CG, it was a little bit, and it looked great.
Makes sense.
Nothing in this movie felt out of place with the special effects that they used.
And they definitely went a little gory for PG-13. It does not feel like a PG-13 movie the entire time, honestly.
I was halfway through watching it before I realized it was PG-13 on what I was watching it on.
I mean, that's what it was. That's what it was.
Like I thought that it was unrated or something, but
yeah, nope. My favorite thing, just because of the gore to it, the preacher confronts the demon Abaddon.
Abaddon. Yeah, I don't know.
I think that's what it was. Anyway, and says, I want you to leave her alone. And the demon says, fine. You keep your mouth shut for 10 seconds. I'll leave her alone. He agrees and immediately starts counting off 10 seconds by snapping her fingers, not all the way off, but definitely like snapping the bones, just 1, 2. Obviously, he didn't want the girl to go through that kind of damage, so he talked, losing that fight.
3 seconds a little late in my opinion, but
yeah. But the look of the fingers snapping was realistic. The sound effect was like, ooh.
It was crunchy.
Yeah, crunchy is right. It definitely was crunchy. So that would be my favorite.
Yeah.
Eli likes to go realistic when it comes to the violence.
A lot
and
of
gore.
practical and good-looking stuff.
Yeah.
So, on a scale from 1 to 10, what would you rate this movie?
Oh, you're going to ask me first?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to give it an 8. I'm going to give it an 8, yeah.
I'm going to go 8.5. Yeah, I mean, I watched this and immediately I was like, all right, I'm buying this. I'm going to own this.
And you also, before you bought it, you immediately watched the second one because it was also streaming.
Yep. So,
and his wife said the first one was amazing. The second one was really good, but not as good as the first one. And I guess the second one's not found footage, you said, but I haven't watched it.
No,
yet,
it's definitely not.
We will come back with that one. Probably not. Maybe next week.
Maybe next week. I'm not sure.
We've done back-to-back sequels before.
Yeah.
But anywho, that's about that for this movie, right?
Yep. So until next time, nope. Okay.
It's hot out and we're forgetting things.
Yeah, it's hot and in too.
There's air conditioning in here.
Fact TV channel 1082, Thursday at 8:30 p.m. and Fridays at 7 p.m. You can watch this show.
You can also go to Facebook. It's something that people still use. And you type in Gory Story Time and there's a page. Like that. Follow it. There's also a page for Fact TV. Like and follow that one too.
Oh, yeah. You can go to fact8.com, watch a bunch of back episodes of this, as well as thousands of hours of entertainment.
And information, not just entertainment.
Yeah, but I'm here for the entertainment.
Sure, but if someone just wants info, they got that too. You can follow me on X. I'm at Craig Jakes, all lowercase, all one word, and I tweet nothing about this show.
I'm at Jiggly Firmbrain. I only tweet things that he says that I find funny and out of context, but usually out of context.
And you know what he also never does? Tweet lately.
Nah, well.
He's getting bad
You're
about
dropping
it.
the ball.
Yeah, well, you are the one walking around with balls in your hands.
What? No, you dropped a ball.
I didn't drop a ball. I say funny things all the time. You just don't hang out with me anymore.
Well.
Anyway, also go to YouTube, type in Gory Story Time, and 2 pages should pop up. My channel, Gory Story Time, like, subscribe, smash the notification, all that goodness. And the other one is Fact TV, post some episodes there too. Like, subscribe, notification bell, all that stuff for them too.
Yes.
As a thank you for all that they've done over these 10 years.
Yes. And until next time, right? Okay. I've been your host, Jason.
I'm his co-host and father, Craig, and
sweet dreams.